One of the lens manufacturers that is really producing interesting, high quality and competitively priced lenses right now is Samyang, or Rokinon in the US. Following really good 135mm and new version of their 35mm, which I am yet to review, an excellent 50mm, comes this 85mm f1.4 Mark II. New kid on the block to compete with pretty much every other 85mm available for SONY-E mount cameras right now. Considering how good these new Samyang lenses are, I have had very high expectations for this. Is it worth considering at all? Is it a lens capable of delivering results as good as Sony own or Sigma 85mm? Keep watching, don't skip to find out. Quick disclaimer, I received this pre-production copy of this lens from Samyang UK for this review. However, as always, I was not asked or paid to say anything specific about it, so this is my honest and 100% unbiased opinion about this lens. 85mm is one of those focal lengths which is not exactly standard, certainly not wide angle, and it's not telephoto either, borderline for telephoto. That makes it pretty versatile for all kinds of or types of photography. Anything from close-up to street, nature, landscape, cityscape to the obvious one, the portrait. 85mm focal length with wide aperture as this f1.4 creates really great depth of field, the subject to background separation that comes with the bokeh. I personally like what this lens creates, but I am sure it won't be for everyone. The bokeh is swirly and a little bit busy sometimes. The best way I can describe it is overlapping. It looks more like a bokeh created by an old vintage lens than spanking brand new one. In a way, this is a good thing, as so many new lenses have a very little character and are too clinical. This is different and, as I said, might not be for everyone, but it is interesting in my opinion. The sharpness this lens delivers is insane. The focusing as well, it is no different than any Sony lens. The optical performance is pretty good too. Very little vignetting wide open, hardly noticeable, almost zero chromatic aberration, a lot of good stuff. Minimum focusing of 85 centimeters. Pretty standard, but still great for capturing great close-ups. But like with any semi-telephoto lens, finding that sweet spot of minimum focusing distance and not being too close when the autofocus simply won't work, or too far and not getting maximum magnification could be sometimes tricky. Autofocusing in video pretty quick and consistent, delivering solid results, especially with newer cameras like my Sony A7 IV. It's not a one-trick pony and a versatile lens that can really deliver amazing results across the board. I know that all of you have commented on my previous Samyang lens reviews telling me that you had a lot of problems with their lenses. I must say that every single one that I have used so far was rock solid, no issues. Until now, but this is a pre-production copy. It came in a white box and I was told by Samyang that there might be pre-production issues. Two I came across with this particular lens are: one, the camera freezes now and then. It switches on, but I can't change any settings on it until I take this lens off and take the battery out. And two, sometimes shooting at smaller apertures, the camera's Sony A7 IV's, in my case, live preview was not accurate. It was showing the image exposed okay, but photos were massively underexposed. I take these things with a pinch of salt as it is a pre-production copy of the lens, but I heard from you that some of you had exactly the same issues with production copies of Samyang lenses. Obviously not this one, but the previous ones. I think that these new Mark II lenses and the new models that they are releasing now are definitely very good, and I really hope that these issues are only hiccups and can be polished off with future firmware updates. Firmware updates that can be installed via the camera and not additional lens dock. Okay, I had my little rant, and everything that I have said doesn't change the fact that I do like this and other Samyang lenses and that they do deliver outstanding results. Built really decent size and weight for 85mm for f1.4 wide aperture 85mm. It weighs 590 grams, making it the lightest f1.4 85mm available right now. It has got the same external design as the 35 and 50mm Mark II lenses, that crisscross pattern focus ring making it look a little like Canon RF lenses. Little red accent line at the front of the lens, and it is all made out of tough plastic. It feels pretty solid. 72mm filter thread. The focus ring is a little bit rough. There's some noticeable plastic on plastic rubbing, and it feels a little bit plasticky altogether. Could be fixed by the time this lens is shipping and only an issue on this pre-production copy. Standard focus hold button that can be programmed to whatever you want via the camera, and not so standard custom switch with M1 and M2 positions. By default in position M1 this does nothing, but in M2 position it makes the focus ring change the aperture. Somehow useful when filming, allowing you to control brightness smoothly, and also for quicker aperture changes when shooting photos if that's what you need. This custom switch can be changed to switch focus from auto to manual and other functions, but only via the optional Samyang lens dock. You have to buy it separately. It would be great if they managed to incorporate a USB-C socket on the lens for the updates like Tamron does now. This would be a game changer for customizable lens like this. The price, this lens will be retailing for £766 here in UK or $799 in US. It makes it much cheaper than Sony G Master lens and Sigma Art f1.4 lenses, but in reality its real competition could be Sony 85mm f1.8, which is not only lighter, nearly half weight, but also it is much cheaper. This Samyang would be a great value for money if it had zero issues. I can't say that it won't have any once it starts shipping, but when buying Sigma or Sony, you know that everything is going to work 100%. I am a huge fan of the underdog, and I would personally go for a less known or less mainstream brand every time. But when you shoot professionally, there is just sometimes too much risk. The quality this lens delivers is outstanding, no doubt, and I really hope that all other issues won't overshadow the quality and that Samyang can sort them out in all their lenses. Conclusion: I do like it. It is a lens that is not difficult to shoot with. It delivers superbly sharp, consistent results. It's a lens that certainly is good enough for pro work, and with that wide aperture of f1.4, it is the cheapest one out there. Is it the 85mm to have right now? I am not 100% sure. It is good, but those little hiccups I've experienced with it would make me think about it twice. I'm not saying don't buy it. I had no issues, zero, with all other Samyang lenses that I have used before, and all the little issues I had with this could be only with this pre-production copy that I have here. I will be comparing it side by side to the Sigma 85mm very soon, but for now, I hope this video and all the samples that I have showed you, with it, helped you to make your own mind up about this lens. And this is it from me. I hope this video was helpful or at least entertaining. If it was, please give me that thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram and please consider subscribing for more reviews like this one. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. It sits somewhere between standard and the telephoto. God, that's complicated. Standard focus hold button. This would be a game changer for customizable. This would be a game changer for customizable lens like this. This could be a game changer for customizable